Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings today. We're so excited to have you again. Judiciary seems to have lost every ounce of respect from Nigeria because of what Nigerians consider them to be now. Most Nigerians do not believe in judiciary again because of a lot of imbalances that we saw in the judgment that were rolled out both in the presidential governorship, some senior related distinct cases tribunal and all of that. Nigerians seems to like, man, we've lost it. Judiciary can't be depended on again and all of that. But guess what? The former Nigerian Bar Association president have revealed why the judiciary can stand tall again as an independent arm of government. And this is not coming from a stranger. It's coming from the former Nigerian Bar Association president. That's why it's needful for us to listen to it fully. Also, in a related development, the judiciary is going up against one of the southwestern governor who have sent packing his chief judge. We're going to look at what their intentions are, what they intend to do in the former Nigerian Bar Association president Olumide Akpata said Nigerian political elites have turned judiciary or judges into beggars. Akpata, a governorship aspirant of the Labour Party in Edo State, said some state chief judges kneel before their governors to beg for funds, official vehicles, and accommodation. Oh my God. The former NBA president said this while speaking recently at the International Bar Association IBA conference in Paris, France. According to Akpata, the absence of financial autonomy and the impoverishment of Nigerian judges have turned them into tools in the hands of politicians. Akpata also claimed that some judges live above their legitimate income and send their children to Ivy League like Cambridge, Yale, and Harvard University. He said, and I quote his words, says some judges kneel before the governor to beg for funds, official vehicle, or accommodation. When you know a man, that's a judge that knows the law, but his judgment flies against the face of what the law should be, you should know that there is something else motivating him or her. Speaking further, Akpata stated that the Nigerian judiciary cannot produce good judge because of the selection process used by the National Judicial Council (NJC). He stated that there is a deliberate attempt by the political class in Nigeria to capture the judiciary because those who show up as judges have no business being there. According to him, he says, for a good judge to emerge out of that process is by fluke only. Share luck with the judicial appointment in Nigeria. It is ridiculous. While I was president of NBA, what I found out was that there is a deliberate attempt on the part of the political class in Nigeria to capture the judiciary, and that has very insidious consequences for the rule of law in Nigeria. It is deliberate and it is intentional, and it is achieving results. In a related development, the Nigerian Bar Association has berated the governor of Osun State, Ademola Adeleke, over the suspension of the state chief judge, Justice Adepele Ojo, despite the recommendation of the House of Assembly. It has been reported that there is presently a vacuum in the Osun judiciary following the failure to swear in Justice Yinka Afolabi as the acting CJ on Friday, in line with Governor Adeleke's directive. This comes as Justice Afolabi reportedly failed to avail himself for the swearing-in. Prior to Ojo's removal, the National Industrial Court in Ibadan, Oyo State, had barred the Osun State government from removing her as a chief judge. Speaking through its spokesperson, Barrister Akorede Habi Lawal, the NBA vowed not to recognize Justice Afolabi if eventually sworn in as the acting CJ. The association insisted that Adeleke's refusal to recognize the interim court order can be regarded as abuse of power and desecration of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 1999 as amended. NBA warned that it would take all necessary steps to ensure that Adeleke's abuse of office does not stand. Korede, in his words, says, in very vivid terms, the action of Governor Adeleke and the Osun State House of Assembly are unwarranted assault on the judiciary and aim at intimidation. The NBA wishes to categorically state that the provision of the 1999 constitutions are not ambiguous as to the way and manner a chief judge of a state could be removed from office. Certainly, a state house of assembly resolution for a chief judge to step aside is unknown to the law of our land. The NBA is further worried and troubled that in going about its unlawful endeavor, the Osun State government chose to ignore the lawful order of interim injunction granted by the National Industrial Court sitting in Ibadan, which restrained the governor of Osun State from interfering with the office of the Chief Judge of Osun State. The tenure of a judicial officer cannot and should not be subject to the mood of politicians. To this end, the NBA and its members shall not recognize Honorable Justice Olayinka Afolabi as the acting Chief Judge of Osun State because the provision of the law must be complied with strictly in the removal of or appointment of the Chief Judge of Osun State. The NBA shall take all necessary steps to ensure this impunity and brazen abuse of office does not stand. This is getting very interesting, I must say. My colleague is in the house here, and we want to talk exhaustively about this development and this exposition by the former NBA president, talking about Akpata, who is a gubernatorial aspirant of the Labour Party. Now, all these things were in existence. Why didn't they speak up? Why didn't they bring it to the notice of Nigerians that this is what is happening? Do you think that Nigeria can recover the judiciary from the hands of the executive, especially the political class?
It may be almost near impossible for it to take a miracle, more than a miracle, for it to take Nigerians themselves to recover the country. You can see that the judiciary right now is helpless. They can't even help themselves. And in a situation where within the judiciary we have those who are allies to the executive, and for you to grow in rank and file in the judiciary, you have to be friends with the executive. So which means it's just another arm appendage of the executive. So if you want to be playing hard to get, quote unquote, if you want to go by the rules of the judiciary, you will not be promoted. And if you are even due for promotion, they will put you in the suburb, the remotest places. So by the time you notice that you are not getting promoted and those who are playing the card are getting promoted, getting the best things of life, it's either you are honest, you die poor, or you become dishonest and you become a big boy. And besides, the Nigerians themselves that you want to even be dying poor and being honest for, they don't even see the sacrifices you make. Tomorrow your children will now blame you for standing tall. Why didn't you follow that justice this? Today now they are big boys, they are citizens of this, but you've ready to stand tall. Where are us? Where are we today? We can't even afford 3 square meal. Even our pension said the executive, the governor cannot pay us. We cannot sign because your name is involved. You now discover that you are playing with your future. It's a big situation. And since we reward dishonesty with more power, with more contracts, everybody wants to be dishonest.
Exactly. But what do you think on the part of the judiciary they can do, to salvage this situation?
It's a big situation.
Yes.
It's something like you can't beat them, you join them. That is the level of depth of corruption we are in. Akpata is talking now because he's actually vying for a position. He was one time the NBA. Why didn't he speak up? Why is he speaking now that he's no longer in that situation, but now he's going in for the executive arm? Having tasted the judiciary, you realize the most powerful arm actually is the executive. That's why he's going in there.
Exactly.
It's just simple logic. And when he gets in there, he will also follow the bandwagon. So let's tell ourselves the truth. It's only Nigerians living in Nigeria that can rescue Nigeria, Nigeria from the impunity of the corrupt politicians who have made up their mind to take this power absolutely and without relinquishing this power.
Wow, you have spoken well, I must say. Well, I think just like my colleague has already said, it's in the hands of the judiciary, or sorry, in the hands of Nigerian until when we wake up and decide to drop as a back of card our docility, all of this won't change. That's where we like to leave it. Let's meet in a